Hi everyone, it's Emanuele from Italy, but you know me better as Evil Dead Italia. And this evening I'm here to present you a new interview. Tonight we are going to have here Mark Mitchinson, that's worked on both Ash vs Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise movies. So without any further ado, here we are with Mark Mitchinson. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Hello, very well, thank you. How's it going?
I'm pretty fine here. It's midnight here in Italy. And what
Oh,
time is it there?
it's mid afternoon, so midday in New Zealand time. Yeah,
So first of all, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure for me to having you as a guest here.
thank you.
And so I know you have not much tough time, so I'm going to be quicker as possible in the questions. So
No worries.
please pardon me in case I seem rude or stuff like that. I hope not. I hope not. But you know, first of all, you worked in two different installment on the Evil Dead franchise. So my first question is, you know the Evil Dead before starting your work in it, or
Yeah, I
what was your first
well,
time?
I've the first time I came across Evil Dead was at the first one, the first Sam Raimi film, so years and years ago, and my cousin and I, when I was living in England, we actually got a video of the first one, and that was it for me. I was hooked. So when I moved back to New Zealand, um, and I was older, of course, and got a job on Ash versus Evil Dead, it was like, wow, this is great. This is like one of those moments in your life where you go, this is just what I've always wanted to do. And then when the film came, and I auditioned for the film and got that role as Mr. Fonda, that really is that sort of is a heritage movie. It's kind of in the real pantheon of great horror films, and being part of that franchise was just super exciting. And with such a good script and such a new director and a new cast and a new kind of storyline going forward, it was just something that was really just joyous to be involved in.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the huge difference between acting in a TV series and in a movie like that? I mean, I know that many person in the staff of the movie of the series worked even in the movie. That I talk with many of them,
Yeah.
Nick Bassett, Dave Garbett. I mean, everyone is from New Zealand. It's pretty fun that
Yeah.
there is this huge culture of movie there.
Well, Rob Tappert, who's the producer, who's American, but he lives in New Zealand and is married to Lucy Lawless. So so that part of the thing was all made it very easy. And I guess the thing about the difference between TV and film is TV, you're working on installments, different stories each episode, and different
Mhm.
kind of. So you're quite self-contained in an hour, whereas a film, you're part of just one big story, and so you get a lot more time to delve into the details of the characters and you get just a bit more time. I think that's the biggest difference.
And the big question is how much is different in terms of time on set. I mean, it's the TV series is shorter and faster. The movie you stay more there.
Yeah, I think it's faster turnaround on television. It's much faster to because you've got to get things done within a certain time frame. I mean, you do on film as well, but it's just a lot. There is more room. There's more room to kind of really enjoy the scenes and have a little bit more breadth in there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there is a huge difference even in sets. I mean, uh, movie are let's say more expensive in terms of stuff, or you show there, or
Well, depends. With something like Ash versus Evil Dead, there was it was still a big costume, big makeup, big, so, and it was over. I think how many series? There's 3 series of that, 4 series. So that it's that over a period of time was probably more money than just the single film. But the films have there's something about film that is just you know it's just different audiences, different people go and see them. I mean, and they get to Rise got to a huge audience international. It was a big success on the international stage as well. So that was quite interesting. Whereas I think Ash was streamed to a streamer provider service, and wasn't. Not everybody has seen Ash versus Evil Dead, but it seemed like all the fans have seen Rise.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Well, as a fan, I obviously seen both, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before contacting you, I didn't study well, and
Right.
I discovered after I contacted you that you were even in Nash vs Evil Dead, and so I rewatched the episodes, and
Right.
that one was pretty fun. I mean,
Yeah, it was quite good fun. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was. It was the survivalists there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was something like all in open spaces, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you shot on. It was summer or winter.
It was. I think it was autumn actually. Yeah, it was. So it was quite cold out there, in the forest. We're out there, But it was. Yeah, it's a good. It was a good storyline. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, yeah. I watched it this weekend to be
Oh, cool.
prepared,
Cool.
and yeah, yeah. It's very fun. It's even. I mean, I'll let's say Bruce Campbell was a producer in
Yeah.
both the shows.
Yeah.
How it is to play a character with the producer of the movie himself, or the TV series itself, as an
Well,
actor, like
the thing about Bruce is it's his show. He's the main guy, and he's the producer, and he's the star, and he's been doing it a long time, and you know you have to give him respect for that. He's a superstar in this world. So it was great, and he was great to work with, and not at all as it was as you might think of a difficult star or anything like that. No, he was very. I think he enjoyed it. He was enjoying himself as well. He was having a good time with all the other people in it. So it worked well. It was good fun with him.
and that's fine. Thank you. And okay, talking about Rise, I discovered a thing I was not sure about because, as we talked before, you were not credited, but Mark was even the voice of Father Mark Littleton in the movie. So the voice on the vinyl. And
Yeah.
talking about that, what kind of acting is required to record? It's a sort of dubbing, right? I mean, you have a text in the front, you can improvise a little bit.
Yeah. So you go into a studio, and then the film is playing. A part of the film is playing, and we're recording that that voice to what the action is on the film. So yeah, it's quite a relaxed situation because you've got all your lines, you've got you're reading it. It's like doing ADR. So yeah, it was a good experience. But yeah, I mean the reason why we didn't credit me as is Lee Cronin, the director, and I were when we were working. We thought that it would be a great piece of trivia for the true fans who would find out that Mr. Fonda is also Reverend. So it was kind of it was just a little bit of fun that we thought we could throw in there to get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
real people who are real Evil Dead boffins to kind of go and find out and listen. So yeah, that's got around a bit now to the fan base, which is great.
And how it works? I mean, I know that the audio recording
Yeah,
the audio montage of the movie was done in Denmark, if I'm not wrong. And so you just recorded a track and then it was sent digitally somewhere.
we do it
The
now with we do it like this. It's all Skype and
okay,
Zoom.
in live.
Yeah, so we're doing it, and so various people are around, in LA, and I think Lee was back in Ireland, and somebody was in Denmark doing it. So it was there was a about 3 or 4 of us and us in the studio. So yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm losing all the comments, and yeah, there are many fans that are saying hello to you. There
Who
is
are you lot?
Alex Adengar from Denmark that he recognized you from the after
Oh,
the premiere. And he
great,
wrote to
great.
you. And there is Dylan that love seeing you as both the character.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Crosby. I get to play because I'm the character actor, so I get to play those really quite fun roles and just have that you know have just
Yeah,
a enormous amount of fun. And they might be smaller but they're still great fun. Mr. Fonda was he had the best line in the film, I reckon. But
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there is this question is very interesting because I notice your voice is different from in Ash vs Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise. Maybe
yeah.
for this reason, this Rufus asked how difficult was it to so-called American accent. Uh,
That's one of the things, especially when you're an actor in New Zealand. There's a lot of American work that comes down here, so we have to be pretty. There's quite a lot of practice. And I lived in America for a few years, so I kind of got the ear for it. And there's so many different parts of America in the accents. But thanks. Yeah, you kind of work hard on getting that right, just because there's lots of the people who come down want American accents. That's the thing.
that's great. And going ahead with the discussion about Evil Dead Rise. So, I've seen some pictures with that Dave Garbett sent to me, even Nick Bassett. They showed me that the corridor in which
Yeah.
your character were killed is
Yeah.
substantially built inside a studio.
Studio. Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, how long you stay there? How much is hard to be a dead uh, character? You. How much there is a puppet when you were not in scene, and then it's
No,
not you, or
we
you were
yeah,
there.
we were always around. So Lee wanted us always to be around lying there. So, some days I think we spent 2 days with my guts hanging out and just lying in blood and getting different positions and different angles, until the point where I opened my eyes, and that's another day of all of that. So we spent a lot of time in blood and guts hanging out and prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. It was it was days and days and days on very bloody cold floors.
Yeah, you're the diet. I had watched the movie yesterday. You're the diet as orange eyes, right? Or it's
Yeah.
just lighting?
No, they colored them. They colored them in post production.
In post production. So you
Yeah.
you have some contact lens there,
No,
or
they just do that in in the post production studio. So so it's kind of little dabbing, whatever they do in those studios there.
yeah. While the makeup there, the lines on your
Yeah, all
skin.
that was made up. That was makeup. And a sort of thin prosthetic that they put across your face, and then air gun it with makeup, and pretty good makeup crew, really good makeup crew.
That's very interesting. And another question I would like to do is regarding to your character, Mr. Fonda. You have a cat. I read somewhere that initially the cat should be some kind of victim of something, but in the end it was not because it's better to not touch animals.
Yeah,
I have even 4 cats, so I can understand the pain of
yeah,
a cat owner.
yeah.
But
I
but
love that cat. Yeah,
but it was on the set. I mean, because I just seen one shot with the cat, So I
Nice.
suppose it was not there for
No,
real. Yeah.
no, we didn't. We didn't have a cat on set. No, unfortunately. But we talked about it, but no, we didn't in the end have one.
That's great. That's fun. That's really fun.
Hmm.
And so, how many days you stay there? Something like 3 days. One.
Mm,
I mean, you go there back and forth.
yeah,
Few
yeah. It was
days.
about. I had about 10 days. 10 days on it. Yeah. So even as a small kind of role like that is kind of it's quite a there's a lot to do. And then of course there's the stuff with the recording separately to that was another a couple of days on that, which is great.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
Um, so you are born in London, right? If I read correctly.
I was
On
born in the UK, moved
yeah.
out to New Zealand when I was young, about 7 or 8, and then moved back to England when I was 16, and
Hmm.
then moved back to New Zealand when I was 2002. So yeah, so I kind of back and forth with New Zealand and the UK.
Okay, and I mean now you live there, right?
Now I live here. Yeah, I've got a family and live here. Yeah,
That's great. That's great. It's very different Europe from New Zealand,
very
right?
different. Yeah, very different. Not so many people, you know, and long way away from anywhere, but very beautiful. And it's a beautiful summer here. So we're having a
It's summer now or just fall?
summer. Yeah,
Summer, yeah.
yeah,
How much I envy you. When I talked to Nick Bassett in Christmas, something
right.
like that.
Yeah,
Here it was raining, and there,
right.
and he was at the seaside or something like
Was
that.
it
He
at the
told me
beach?
yes,
Yeah,
they get
nice,
party at the beach for Christmas. I mean,
nice.
a little bit. I have a little bit of envy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. A little bit of envy. Yeah.
um. So one thing that not anyone maybe know, because I didn't know too, but I have to say I'm a little bit ignorant. I mean, I study before the lies, but I a little bit uh, ignorant about this. You in New Zealand you have a lot of huge production, and Mark participated even in The Hobbit, two
Oh,
movies of The Hobbit as I've seen.
yep.
So, what is the difference between a huge production like that to a smallest one, like I don't know, Ash vs Evil Dead or Evil Dead Rise, for perspective of an actor? I mean, what is your relationship with the other actors there and with the director? It's more fast, it's more slow. Uh,
Um, Definitely on something like The Hobbit or Avatar or something like that, it's way slower. So it's sometimes you don't even get on set some days because it's just slow, very slow. Because it's just bigger. The production is just so much bigger. And The Hobbit was huge and had actors from all over the world, and sometimes that can be tricky because the New Zealand actors are a bit more relaxed, I think, and chilled out, and sometimes the international actors can be tricky, but we're quite sort of egalitarian down here, and we get on with people. So it was, but you can't always tell if people are going to get on with you. So you just kind of mostly we do, but there have been circumstances where it's been a bit tricky with some of the actors. But working with somebody like Peter Jackson, it's a very detailed and quite methodical process, and quite slow in the terms of the difference between that and something like Ash versus Evil Dead that has to be quick and got out, because they're at they're with a time scale of a limitation of when they can get the show to air. So whereas a film will have probably a year of just getting it all ready, and then another year of getting it promoted and into cinemas and stuff like that. So it can be almost 2 years when you finished your part of it before you actually see it on screen.
it's a very long process,
Yeah.
substantially. Yeah. And another thing. How does it work? I mean, the auction. I mean, when you auction for a part, uh, for this kind of movies, is a longer process. You have I mean, how does this work? You find some kind of announcement. There is
Usually, your agent,
some agency, yeah.
yeah, you usually what will happen is you get a call in for an audition. Sometimes you might get a recall that is just with the director, either on a Zoom call or in the room, and then the agents and the production companies talk with each other, and they'll go like, "He's in," or "Sorry, you didn't make it." So, yeah, luckily
Okay,
with this one, I was in. So.
that's great. That's great. And the fact that you worked both on Ash vs Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise, there is some connection. I mean, you were called directly, or you auction it, or you propose yourself for that
My
part.
agent put agent put me forward for it. Yeah, definitely. And there was but Rob Tappert, who's the producer. Yeah, I have a nice relationship with him. He's a great guy, and I've worked with quite a few of his shows. So he was like, "Hey, come to this one," which is great.
That's great. I have some question from the fans here. There is Dylan that is asking if you looked forward to become the diet. I can
Yeah,
imagine the makeup takes a long time to apply.
yeah.
It's uncomfortable. I mean, the part with your I don't remember the war. I'm the guts outside or
It took probably about 2.5, 3 hours to do all the makeup. I know I was looking forward to becoming a dad because then I had the I had my great line she's when she's got my gun. So it
yes,
was kind of,
yes, yes.
so it was kind of the moment, which is always looking forward to say that line on big screen.
Yeah, and there is some modification to your voice digitally there, or you rocked
Yeah, I think there may have been into the sound mix, but pretty much we did it a lot of times in lots of different ways. So they had quite a few choices to choose from.
okay. Then there is Alex that asks if how much you input give you input to your characters. I mean,
You
what is
do.
the
You get. I talked a lot with in probably more so with Rise because we had a lot of conversations with the director. Lee wanted it to make it before everybody got a dead item before it all went around. He wanted to have real characters, real kind of sense of who they were as characters. So we talked. I talked a lot, and I had quite a bit of input about how and who Mr. Fonda was. Not so much in Evil Dead because in Ash, sorry, because that was all written down on the page, and I think they knew we don't have a lot of time to talk with directors and writers when you are doing fast turnaround television. So it's so you got to come pretty much with the character that you've got in mind and just offer them that choice and give them choices. We've worked out in the audition that there is of what he is about enough, but certainly in Rise we had a lot more input. Definitely.
that's great. There is another question about uh, this is one is trickier. You have been in Ash vs Evil Dead and Rise. A new Evil Dead production has been revealed. Will you audition? We hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. Well, it's new. What usually happens is new director and new story will probably mean new characters, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah. I agree with you. Let's see what's happened.
Exactly.
And well, when I contacted you for this live, you were doing some filming. Do
Yeah.
you like to to talk or
Sure.
my audience what you were filming?
Well,
If
there's a new. I've just finished a film called Grafted, which is a horror film that is going to come out. I think probably this year. So I just finished that, and then I have just been doing like a little series down in Queenstown called um, Under the Vines, which is sort of very different from anything like this, which is a sort of romantic comedy series about people drinking wine, and I play the villain. So yeah, it's always quite good to be playing the villain parts and those kind of stuff. And then I did a film. There's a big film coming out in New Zealand, well, international, by Lee Tamahori, who directed a film called Once Were Warriors, and he's quite famous New Zealand film. And it's called The Convert, and it's got Guy Pearce in it, and all about, yeah, it's a sort of historical epic based in New Zealand, and it comes out this year. So keep an eye out for that. The Convert.
the convert, okay, absolutely, absolutely. And you worked on a huge number of movies. Did you even do theater or just movies?
Yeah, I don't do too much theatre. No, I just mostly do here. I just mostly do TV and film.
Okay, okay, that's great. And I have one last question, so I
Mhm.
can leave you go. I mean, just to avoid to steal too much of your time,
That's all good.
and between all the production to which you participate, what is the one for which you have the best memories? You know, the one that you say, I remember this, and I would like to do other stuff. Yeah, like this one. I mean,
I did a film called Human Traces, which was just a little sort of three-hander, quite a personal kind of about a scientist. They were down on this island in the middle of the South Pacific, and that was a great little experience. But I like playing. I quite like doing a lot of comedy, and I've been doing some comedy recently, which has been great. And there's a show called High Road, which is a great little series. If you can find it, it's out there somewhere. But if not, you email me and I'll send you the link.
okay,
And
I'm very curious.
also, yeah, so comedy. I quite like doing comedy. I think I find comedy. I really enjoy doing that, or or that sort of intense, small indie kind of films. They're the things that I really enjoy doing.
That, thank you, thank you. Let's ask him, ask us if you keep anything from sets, clothes, or items.
Yes,
We are collector. We are even collector.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, I always take something. I usually always take a little piece of clothing. So I think I've got a Mr. Fonda shirt somewhere in my, always good to have a little trophy that you take. Yeah, I'm a collector too. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
yeah, it makes full sense. I have another question. I suppose you replied in some way before, but just to show you,
Yeah.
Dylan asking if you approached the character of Mr. Fonda as it was Crosby after the events of Ash vs. Evil Dead, or this is no connection at all between the two wars. You
No, I didn't. I completely separated them. Yeah, there was. I wanted them to be very, very different.
Mhm.
Although they probably came from, it felt like they almost could come from the same town. They were kind of that, both a bit rednecky. So yeah, no, it didn't really influence each other, but there was definitely probably similarities in where they came from in America, or politically anyway. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's great. Before leaving, let you go. I would like to thank you very much for your time, for your
Anytime.
kindness in participating, and uh, talking about again uh, your um, your father Littleton voice.
Yeah.
I really loved that. I mean,
Right.
I liked the very much the intensity, the drama of his voice
Right.
during the various stages of,
Right.
before he was very sure of himself.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
started to become mad and
Yeah.
be desperate. I very liked the
Great. Great.
the different passages. So thank you for that
You're very
interpretation,
welcome.
because it become a very important, um, let's say, very important part of the Evil Dead
Yeah.
franchise,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
my
Totally. Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your
Thank you,
time.
Manuel. Nice to meet you, sir. And take
Have a
care.
nice.
Yeah. And good
Thank you
luck
very
with
much.
all the rest. Thanks, man.
Thank
See you,
you.
buddy. Cheers, man.
Finger crossed.
See you
Have a
later.
nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. So now that Mark is um, Mark had to leave. But before I'm going to leave you, I would like to give you a short news. I mean, you already know, everyone is connected here, already know that there is a new movie incoming. So I would like to talk with you guys about the new movie. I mean, just to share with you the article. I'm searching for it. Okay. So thank Jessica for the nice word. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dylan, for the nice comments. Thanks to Janelle too. I mean, and I would like to share. I mean, you already seen this one, and I think it's obvious for you all connected here, but why not talking about that? Um, so I don't know if you see it. Okay, we have this article from uh, Deadline, and practically yesterday evening. Yesterday evening it was for me was evening. I don't know what hour was for you guys. You are from different place of the world, so I don't know. But for me was night. Uh, uh, I was going to bed to sleep, and I opened my Instagram and I see this article, and I was a little bit shocked. So there is this new director, Sebastian Vanecek. I think he is a French guy. He's a French guy, and he is going to be the next Evil Dead director. The Deadline article talk about spin-off. So the thing is, I don't know. I don't know if the new movie is going to be a new movie at all, completely separated from the events of Evil Dead Rise. I hope it's going to be a new Evil Dead Rise spin-off. I don't know. There are a lot of stories that can be told about the continue of Evil Dead Rise without following the Lily Sullivan character. What do you think, guys, about this? I mean, have you any kind of ideas? What is your preference? There is Jessica here that can't wait to see the new Evil Dead upcoming, and there is Dylan that is telling us the Sylvania Vanishek previous movie Vermin looks amazing. I don't know how to see this movie because it's still not available here in Italy. I'm very curious when I get the news that Lee Cronin was going to direct the new Evil Dead. The first thing I did is buying the Hole in the Ground Blu-rays and watch it, and then I watched the movie, the short movie he had in 50 States of Fright. I don't know if many of you have seen that. So I'm very curious about the Sebastian Vanecek work. Um, I don't know. I'm already starting in the direction to try to be very present about the franchise, and so in this case, I think I will have a lot of time to be more close to the news I don't know if I will have the luck I had this time with Evil Dead Rise, because with Evil Dead Rise, I have to say I was very lucky because for some unknown reason, Lee Cronin, Alyssa Sarted, and Lily Sullivan started to follow me, and so everything was easier because I started with this podcast thing just because I got an interview with Mr. Lee Cronin that he was I should say a very kind. He is a very humble guy. He's a very kind guy, and he was very nice with me. And so, starting with that, it was easier, to try to find new guests. I agree with the Jessica. Um, I think they should continue with the character of the diet Jessica. I fully agree with Jessica. I even talked with Anne-Marie Thomas and Richard Crochley in the previous live of 2023, the last one of 2023. And I fully agree. I mean, the Diet Jessica, it should be the next, even if I don't know, because the other character that played by Myra B. Pease is going to die as I suppose so. My 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 idea should be something like you see the next movie start with the beginning of the previous one, but with someone shooting in the head the died Jessica. But it's just fun fiction, no? We fun, we has fun, um we imagine stuff. So I don't know how this one is going to to go. uh, I'm very curious. I'm very curious about this. And what's your thought, guys? I mean, have you any idea, any desire for the new, for the next incoming movies of Evil Dead? I'm waiting for comments, obviously, about that. Hello, Nick. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. So, anyone having some ideas on how the franchise could go from here? Mr. Lee Cronin pitched a lot of ideas in some interviews. Well, Alex, I fully agree with you. If they keep making them, I keep watching them. Yeah, and I should say even I keep continuing making hypotheses and trying to, find the connection between movies, between all the franchises. There is Dylan that say this is the first time they used the term spin-off. Could the next movie we within the movie remakes? I don't know. I feel more like there is room for new story. I think is a way to say there is room for new stories. Uh, Maybe they don't want go ahead with the Lily Sullivan character story for now, because maybe that one is for the next Lee Cronin movie in the Evil Dead franchise, if Lee is going to come back, to the franchise. Because I've seen an interview on some online magazine in which Bruce Campbell said that Lee Cronin is very requested now, so it's hard to have him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a part of the franchise, maybe in the writing part. I don't know if in the directing one. I hope he continue to bring his ideas, to the franchise itself. There is Wilson from YouTube that tell, I'd like to see a more adventure centered kind of movie. Well, Evil Dead is always adventure in a sort of way. Oh, Nick. There is Nick Bassett connected to the live itself. He is joining from Toronto. So you are from Toronto, so you are in vacation or something like that, or you are there for work. I'm curious about that. Uh, I don't know if you can say that, but I'm curious. um, yeah, Evil Dead is always about adventure and I should say drama in the let's call it uh, in a certain way. Okay, Nick, thank you. Yeah, uh, it's a very long trip to Toronto. I mean, it's substantially Toronto is Canada, right? It's on the other side of the world, and I mean, it's a long travel. Yeah, thank you for for joining the live. It's a pleasure to having you here. And also, okay, there is also our adventure movie that happened outside the USA. Well, I don't know. This is in a certain way. In a certain way, everything happened outside the USA, but the guys working on the movie are so good in, uh, let's say, make it seem the US, even if it's not. There is a Janelle idea here. My fan wish is they could do a series with Ash Kid and they all come together to say the word. Well, let's say my one of the desire of many fans, I suppose, is to have the continuation, of the TV series as cartoon. They say there is something in the work in some way. We don't know. I would like to have a series without Ash. I mean, my idea for the sequel, of the third season was something like the three guys, Brandy, Pablo, and Kelly, searching for Ash that is gone. So it would be very very interesting having this kind of movie. You can have even movie or TV series. You can have even without Ash. This one because Ash is just the objective of the search. But uh, well, Evil Dead in the future, where the Deadites possess robots, since the Deadites have possessed item before, like the cabin and Ash car. Yeah, I suggest you all guys, if you have time, to let's say read Army of Darkness Forever. I have here, I had here as a guest um, the Tony Flex that is the writer of the comic, and Army of Darkness Forever is a very very nice sequel to Army of Darkness, and it takes all the timeline from Army of Darkness, the cinematic ending and the director cut ending, and are part of the same universe in some way, and it's very interesting. I suggest you everyone to read that one. Sorry, I needed to to drink some water because my voice is I'm losing my voice. Okay, and so well, at the moment I don't know at all when my next live is going to be. I'm working to bring a new no, uh, no, just water because I need to go to sleep there. Here in Italy is almost 1 a.m. It's after midnight because it's a very different time zone from New Zealand, and so when I do lives with people from New Zealand, it's always a mess in terms of hours. but it works better because I can have people from UK watching it, people from US, and people from New Zealand too. So it's very interesting. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Janelle. Probably the next thing I'm going to do, but not today. I have to find some space. The next thing I'm going to do is no, I cannot find. Okay, I found it. I found it. Is the unboxing of this one. This one is the I don't remember the name. The Vice Press VHS. I don't got both. I just got one, but I would like to let's say having that VHS unboxed because I'm very curious. Any one of you got that one in any way, or just me here? Just me, probably. Okay. Well, I suppose that now it's time to go to sleep because because tomorrow I'm going to yeah. Thank you, Janelle. Is the quiet one, this one, because the other one are pretty possessed by the evil. Like this one is possessed by evil in some way, as you can see. And so everyone have a nice day. See you the next live. I don't know when it's going to be, but I hope to give you another nice guest like the one of this evening. And thank you very much for coming, and have a good night. Goodbye. Bye bye.